Hi, my name is Pauline Young. In this segment, I'm going to discuss the difference between a pre-qualification letter versus a pre-approval letter from a loan officer. So to begin with the pre-qualification letter, a buyer will speak with the loan officer. That loan officer will then request from that buyer to know their place of employment, how long that they've worked there, their salary. In addition to that, the lender will pull the buyer's credit. Typically, they'll use Equifax. And from there, the lender will say, "Congratulations, Mr. or Miss Buyer. You qualify for $300,000. So after that, you're ready to go, right? Let's go find a home, right?" Wrong. What I want to discuss with you is the pre-approval letter. The very first step before you go running out looking at houses, you need to get pre-approved by a lender. How do you know that you've been pre-approved? Well, your lender is going to, number one, do a tri-merge credit report. And with the tri-merge credit report, that's all three major credit bureaus. Those credit bureaus are Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Now, all three credit bureaus, they're going to have different credit scores for you. Why? Because their information differs. You know, perhaps the information on TransUnion's database is not updated. And I don't know, for some reason it just varies. So what they're going to do, the loan officer is going to go based on your middle score. You know, so whatever is the middle score of those three, that's what they're going to use as the point to determine whether or not you qualify for a loan. So in addition to you having a tri-merge credit report, your loan officer is going to then request certain documents from you. And those documents could include W-2 forms from the past 2 years, bank statements, your most recent pay stubs from the last 2 months. And if you're self-employed, they may request certain documentation from you, or you may have to be self-employed for at least 2 years for them to count that. It's just a number of different documents that they may request from you. You want to get that all out of the way up front, because what you don't want to have is that you get into a contract that's accepted by the seller. Now you're in a situation where you have covenants, you have timetables that you have to meet, a time frame that you have to complete certain parts of the document. So it's very, very important to get this up front, get this out of the way beforehand. Now, when it comes to the pre-approval letter, once you have everything completed, that includes the tri-merge credit report, all the documentation, your lender, the only thing that your lender is going to need from you is a ratified contract, which means a contract that has been accepted by the sellers, as well as an appraisal. So once they have those two documents or information from the buyer, then the lender can go ahead and take you to the final stage to get you to that final approval for you to go to settlement. And later on in my other segments, I will discuss the actual loan process from the beginning, from the loan officer all the way to the underwriting department. So I will discuss that later on. But getting back to the pre-approval, most realtors are not going to touch you until you have that pre-approval letter. It is so important. I know for me personally, you know, when it comes to that pre-approval letter, if someone came to me and they didn't even speak to a lender yet, or let's say they had a little pre-qualification, trust me, my ignition in my car will not turn on, okay? The wheels are not going to spin. We're not going anywhere until we know exactly where this person stands. Because, you know, think about it. We as agents, we're not working for free. We're not working for free. We have bills to pay. We need to keep food on our table, we have our certain obligations. So it's very important. You know, a buyer is not going to take you serious. A buyer's agent is not going to take you serious until you have this piece of paper saying that you are pre-approved. So it's very important that you get that. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you is a good faith estimate. A good loan officer should not have a problem giving you a good faith estimate. What is a good faith estimate? I'm glad you asked. The good faith estimate gives you a breakdown of all the charges that you will obtain for the purchase of a property. The good faith estimate, you'll have a section that deals with the loan officer's overall charges, and then you'll have an estimate of what the title company charges are. But most important in this good faith estimate, you should have a snapshot. You should have an idea of exactly how much money will you need for settlement if you're buying a property that's worth X amount of dollars, and what will your monthly payment to be. That's very important. So most buyers are not aware of this, but you as a buyer, you have a right to a good faith estimate. So you want to make sure that you ask your loan officer about this good faith estimate to give you an idea. Another thing is that you want to get pre-approved based on your comfort level. You know, you may qualify for $300,000, and maybe that's the equivalent of a mortgage that's roughly $2,000, but your comfort level is somewhere around $1,600. That's a big difference. So you want to tell the lender, look, I don't want my payments, my mortgage payments to come any further or any more than $1,600. So that includes your principal, your interest, your taxes, your insurance. If you're living in a condo association, your condo fees. If you're living in a homeowners association or a single family home, it's your HOA fees, which are called homeowners association dues. So you want to find out all of that up front. This is very important. These are the things that you need to find out before you get out there and run around looking at houses. A lot of buyers tend to put the cart before the horse. You know, they want to go looking at houses and then they'll worry about the finances later. But believe it or not, you know, the finances is the most important part of the whole transaction. Because trust me, we as agents, we can help you find a property. That's not a problem. But if you don't have this, the moolah, the finances, guess what? You're not going to buy a home. So it's very important that you get that out of the way, you know, beforehand. And so also when you are in a ratified contract scenario and your contract has been accepted, you don't want to be running around trying to get this document or that document. There may be something that you have to order from the courthouse and it's going to take 5 business days, and it's delaying the process of you giving your information to your lender so that he can get you to the point of settlement. Okay? So it's very, very important that you get this pre-approval letter. Get that pre-approval letter, find out how much you qualify to buy, and then you want to buy a home based on your comfort level. Look what's going on in the market. You know, you don't want to buy more than you can afford to buy. Again, I mentioned before, and I'll mention again, buying a house is an emotional experience. You have sellers that are so attached to their property. They think the world of it. They want $1 million for their house. And you have buyers who are just so caught up, oh, wow, I want this house, I want this house. You know, you want to buy in your comfort level. You don't want to be house poor. You got this house and you can't even afford to furnish the property. So furnishing is very important so that you can, you know, enjoy the decor, you know, when you come at home and you relax, this place that you call home. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And remember, as I've said before, get an expert, get the facts, get results. I'll see you soon.